if you're trying to buy your first home right now, you've probably seen some headlines that just don't make any sense. Home sales are supposedly dropping, but at the same time, prices just keep going up. So in this explainer, we're going to untangle this and figure out what is really going on. And this right here is the paradox at the heart of it all. On one hand, sales of previously owned homes took this massive 8.4% nosedive in just 1 month. But then on the other hand, the median price for a home shot up to almost $400,000. I mean, that's the highest price for a January ever recorded. So what is going on here? How is that even possible? It's like the basic laws of supply and demand are broken. And, more importantly, if you're trying to finally get your foot on that property ladder, what in the world does this all mean for you and your search for a home? Okay, so to solve this puzzle, we have to start with the most basic question of all. Where are all the houses? I mean, how many are actually up for sale? This is our first big clue, and it's all about something called inventory. Now, to really get a handle on this inventory situation, there's a key metric the experts use all the time. It's called months supply. And really, it's a pretty simple idea. Just imagine if, starting today, not a single new house was put up for sale. Months supply tells you how long it would take to sell every single home that's currently on the market. It's a snapshot of how tight things are. So what's that number right now? It's just 3.7 months. That's it. That is the entire supply of available pre-owned homes in the whole country. And let me tell you, that number is shockingly low. It's really the root of this whole paradox. And to really put that 3.7 months in perspective, look at this. A healthy, a balanced market where neither buyers nor sellers have a huge advantage, that's supposed to be around 6 months of supply. We are not even close. This giant shortage is exactly why prices are staying sky high, even when fewer people are buying. It's classic supply and demand, just on overdrive. Okay, so that immediately brings up the next logical question, right? If prices are at an all-time high, why aren't more people jumping at the chance to sell and cash in? Well, that leads us to our second big clue, this thing that economists are calling the lock-in effect. A huge part of this is just simple math. Think about it. Since early 2020, the typical homeowner has gained over $130,000 in home equity. They're sitting on a pile of cash, basically. But, and this is the big but, many of them also have these incredible ultra-low mortgage rates they locked in a few years back. If they sell now, they have to give up that amazing rate and buy their next place at today's much, much higher rates. For most people, it's just not worth it. It makes no financial sense to move. Lawrence Yun, who's the chief economist over at the National Association of Realtors, he puts it really bluntly. He just says, Americans are stuck. And that's it. This financial reason to just stay put is what's keeping so many homes off the market and feeding right back into that low inventory problem we just talked about. All right, so let's bring this all back to you and what you're actually dealing with out there. We've got this super low inventory because homeowners are locked in, and that's keeping prices way up. But how does that squeeze actually affect different parts of the market? And this right here, this is so important. The pain isn't spread around evenly. Just look at this data. Sales for homes under $250,000, the exact kind of starter homes that most first-time buyers are desperate to find, those sales have dropped the most. But look at the other end. Homes over $1 million, that was the only part of the market that actually grew. The squeeze is absolutely tightest right where you're looking. So as a first-time buyer, you're a huge part of the market, right? You make up about 31% of all sales. But you're all fighting over the scraps, the scarcest properties out there. And here's another weird twist in the story. Even with all this crazy competition, homes are actually sitting on the market a little bit longer now, about 46 days on average. It's just turned into this slow, frustrating, and super competitive grind. So you take all these pieces, the crazy low inventory, this lock-in effect, this brutal market for affordable homes, and you put them all together. What do you get? What's the final verdict from the experts? Well, that same economist we mentioned, Lawrence Yun, he's not pulling any punches. He's actually calling this a new housing crisis. But, and this is key, it's a totally different kind of crisis than what people remember from 2008. This isn't about prices collapsing and a wave of foreclosures. Nope. This is a crisis of paralysis, a crisis of movement. The whole system has kind of seized up. The normal flow of things, people buying a starter home, building up some equity, and then moving on to a bigger place, that's just not happening. And this gets to the absolute heart of the matter for you. While all these current homeowners have seen their wealth grow by over $130,000, renters who are trying to become owners are stuck on the outside looking in. You're locked out. You're not able to get in on that wealth generation, which honestly is one of the main ways people in America build a real financial future.
So, understanding these big forces, this inventory shortage and this great lock in, that's the first step. And it's a really important one. But it leaves us with the one question that really matters for you right now. In a market where movement is wealth, in a market that's defined by paralysis, how do you get moving?